Na 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 moonlight, na 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 in the sky, na 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 you say, na 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 popcorn, na 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 moonlight, na 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 in the sky, na 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 you say, na 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 popcorn.
Hey there, Slumpbusters. It is Juju Talk Sports. It is C Money. It is time for another Cobra Kai reaction. This one we're doing a little bit differently. As you noticed, season 1 we went through episodically. We're going to be covering season 2 as the sum of its parts. The entire season. Season 2, it had a lot of good. It had a lot of average. We're going to cover it all. First off, when it comes to Johnny, we're coming off of season 1. We're coming off of him telling all of his students, no mercy, play dirty, play against the rules. And he has a big changing moment at the end of season 1, and it bleeds over into season 2 when Crease comes back into his life. So he's having this own personal internal struggle of, I want to be merciful, but the guy that taught me no mercy is back in the picture. What do you think of the Johnny Crease dynamic throughout the season, C-Money?
So in the beginning, it was definitely rocky because the first 5 minutes of the episode, they're already fighting each other in the karate dojo. Like you said, Johnny just doesn't trust Crease. Nothing good ever comes out of Crease. I don't know if you remember from Karate Kid 1, Crease choked out Johnny for getting second place. So Crease is just a bad dude in general. But later on in the season, Johnny starts trusting him more. And I think their dynamic starts to work a little bit, where Johnny is more about good, clean karate. Crease is more about the dirty karate, where like you finish your opponent, but you still end them by punching them in the face or something like that, something vicious. But
I think a big thing there is Johnny still thinks it's high school athletics, where Crease seems to think it's actual war and combat.
Yeah, because Crease was he was a Green Beret, I believe. He was in the military. Yeah, then I don't know if you want to touch on the turning point for Johnny is when he found out that Crease was actually homeless.
Yeah, so at certain points, Crease is made to be a sympathetic character. We've seen it. It's a big stereotype there. Obviously, we've seen a lot of veterans that are left high and dry after their active duty career is gone. And Crease, it just happens to be one of them. A lot of people are wondering, what became of Crease after Karate Kid 3? And as it turns out, this is what happened. He kind of went on a spiral. He lost his business. He didn't have money. And this is Crease's life today. So Johnny feels compelled to take him in. I mean, this guy was my sensei. He taught me everything I know. He took care of me. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing about Crease as a character is when you look at the Karate Kid series, the Karate Kid 1, he was more of a pretty normal villain. But he turned into a little bit more of a cartoon character in the next couple Karate Kids, at least in how they treated him. And then for the start of Cobra Kai, he's back to just being a normal guy, it seems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like Crease is a bad dude, but you start to feel bad for him. And then he changes, and then he pulls a switcheroo, and you're just like, oh no, like he's just a bad guy. Mm-hmm. He loves to take advantage of people's weaknesses, and he figures everybody out like within the first moments he meets them.
One of the big points of contention for Crease is the fact that Robby is now a part of the newly christened Miyagido dojo. And that leads into Daniel's big storyline for the season, Miyagido. How do I get students? How do I keep students? Where are my students coming in from? His students are basically people who are turned off by the Cobra Kai way of thinking. The no mercy, the strike hard, strike fast. A lot of people that were polarized by that line of teaching tend to come his way. We see the Dimitris walk in the door. Mm-hmm. One good thing I'll say about Crease, I'm glad he punched Dimitri. That whole opening segment where Dimitri walks into Cobra Kai and is like, I like karate. I just don't want to get punched. Dimitri, you are in a karate dojo. You're going to get punched. You're going to get kicked. You're going to get choked out.
You're gonna get thrown.
So yeah, even the interplay between Daniel and Dimitri throughout the season, where Daniel's trying to prop him up and get him going. I'm like, man, Daniel, you have more patience than I ever could. You are why I look and think, can I teach kids? I don't think I can. I don't think I could.
Daniel looked like he wanted to punch Dimitri at times.
Yeah. The only thing they could bond over was Game of Thrones references, which I want to remember more fondly, but unfortunately, with the way Game of Thrones wrapped up, anytime Cobra Kai mentions it, it's just a solemn reminder of how bad that show ended. But
and season 2 premiered before the last season of Game of Thrones, so
hopefully they don't make any more references in season 3 on it. Anyway, that leads into Miyagido. They have this whole war going on with Cobra Kai. It's a little over the top. This whole war kind of consumes Daniel's personal life, though, because Daniel, another subplot throughout the season, him and his wife kind of at odds because he's gone doing the dojo stuff. He's letting go of like what he's been doing with the car dealership. And, she's not satisfied with it. And, she obviously wants him to be more helpful around the house. They have a couple cute moments throughout the season, but that is probably something that I see bleeding into season 3 as well.
Yeah, because even Daniel lost his best salesman. His best salesman wanted a raise, and Daniel didn't show up to the meeting. He made karate more important than keeping his best salesman. So that's what got Amanda really furious at Daniel.
Yeah. So let's talk about the kids. What are the kids doing this season? Well, Miguel, coming off a tough breakup, him and Sam, and this, of course, kind of leads to what Sam's doing as well. There is a new lady in his life, Tori, the newest member of Cobra Kai. And Tori is a polarizing character for a lot of people. That I've seen the camp that either hates her or loves her on Twitter. She's seen to be just a nuisance in what was supposed to be the main relationship in Cobra Kai, the Romeo and Juliet saga in Cobra Kai. She's that interference there. And she has her moments throughout the season where you start to lose her as a character. You're like, is she a sympathetic figure? Is she someone I can root for? Or is she just an over-the-top villain that just needs to be cut from the show?
Honestly, my opinion is she didn't seem that bad at the beginning.
The character she impacts the most is Sam. Sam, though, she's got her own thing going on. She's got a new boo thing as well. And that is going to be one Robby Keene. And if you're Miguel, honestly, this has to infuriate you because you broke up because the assumption that she was dating Robby, and then she literally in the next season is dating Robby. That I get that, Miguel. I get why you could be feeling a certain kind of way there about that one. Is Sam a good girlfriend?
No. We summarized that in the last season. No. I mean, she didn't want Miguel to meet her parents.
Yeah, that's red flag number one. If you can't bring your significant other home one direction or the other. Okay, let's get into. So speaking on Robby, then you mentioned this in the pre-show here, but Robby is the character that has the most character development throughout the season. You want to speak on that?
Throughout the season, he's like one of Daniel's main students. Him and Sam are getting along. They eventually start dating, but Robby hits a turning point in the last episode. The last episode is probably to a lot of Cobra Kai fans, is probably the most memorable because of the events that go on. Robby is throughout. He changes as a character. You start to like Robby. You start to see that he's actually not all that bad, that Daniel's turning him to something good. He's using karate as a positive thing. And then all of a sudden, the last episode, all that just goes right out the window, and Robby does what he does. And after that, you're just like, well, I don't know if I could forgive Robby for that.
Yeah.
What do you think about Robby?
Robby, I'm still in between thinking he's just a punk and takes away from the Miguel Johnny dynamic for me, which I love the Miguel Johnny dynamic. That feels like a
Mhm.
good father son mentor type relationship right there, especially when we see Johnny have his little bit of a relationship with Carmen as well throughout the season. I don't know. I guess I'm not a huge Robby guy, honestly. Between him and Miguel, I think I've always leaned Miguel, even though Robby, in theory, should be the more sympathetic character. I mean, his dad is the one teaching Miguel. His dad is the one who's not in his life. But I feel
Mhm.
like Johnny has made attempts throughout the show to be part of Robby's life, but Robby's just shunned him because he buys into what his mom is selling. And then speaking of what his mom is selling, she's got her whole thing throughout the season as well. She's going in and out of rehab. And I
Mhm.
feel as though Robby, you're right. He has a lot of character development going on this season, mostly because he has a lot of negative storylines surrounding him, and it all culminates in the final episode there.
Yeah.
Um, so I am curious to see how they work with Robby moving forward. I think his storyline is going to be the main focal point again in season 3,
Mhm.
but I do think that I could do without a lot of the Robby storyline, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I do have to commend the show with the last episode because it feels like in the season finale of season 1, Johnny kind of failed a little bit as a teacher because he taught them to fight dirty. And in the season 2 finale, Daniel hasn't taught them to fight dirty, but Robby fights dirty because Miguel did it to him. So what I like is that even though Daniel is trying to be the best teacher, even he can fail. And Daniel is obviously the Karate Kid. The Karate Kid's supposed to be perfect.
And I think
And
that
it,
leads into season 3 because we're seeing both Johnny and Daniel have failed in consecutive seasons. And
mhm,
they've really hyped it up that they're friends in season 3 from all indications.
yeah,
The you're like what Tango and Cash thing that Amanda drops in the preview.
yeah, exactly.
Which I think that puts a bow on pretty much the main storylines, the main talking points, and that leaves us just to give a final review or a final rating of the season. I'm gonna say it was a 3. It was a middle of the road season. It serves to set up a what I'm hoping will be a solid season 3, but
Mhm,
I do feel there is a lot to be desired throughout this season. I feel there's only a couple episodes that I can look at and say, I love this episode. The
mhm,
rest just felt like a little bit of filler to me. And
mhm.
I feel as though what makes a great season is you have to have a balance of more key episodes than filler episodes. And I feel like this is where season 2 came up a little bit short. I think it might have been a kind of a reaction to the YouTube creative team and them not necessarily being on the same page as they were working towards future negotiations. And I do think that that may have hurt them as now they're making this transition here to Netflix.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. For me, it's not a it's a good season. It's not a bad season, but what differentiates this season for me is that in the first season, how many episodes did we give fours and fives? Like there were so many good episodes in the first season. This season, there were good episodes, but the one main one that I really liked was the one where Johnny reconnects with his old Cobra Kai friends, and they give their good friend a last goodbye, a last hoorah. That was a very heartwarming episode. It was a very well done episode. I thought it was really cool how they got the original actors back, and the buddy that passes away really did have cancer. So it's like they gave that actor the last hoorah as well. And then a couple of months later, unfortunately, he passed away. but it was just such a good thought out episode. But throughout season 2, there's hardly those episodes. Mainly in season 1, we gave so many episodes, 4s and 5s. This one was okay. I would say,
It sounds
if
like you
we,
want to go with me on 3, middle of the road.
yeah, I would say a 3, but that episode was still a very, very good watch. I could watch that one over and over and over again.
Again, one good episode and a lot of great moments. It doesn't put it at that point where it's warning track power, or certainly even close to that home run tier. We're hoping, of course, season 3 is a home run. We want to see the
Yes.
best Cobra Kai episodes we can. We want to see the best season we can. I love the trailers. I love what we've seen so far. Check out C Money's reactions. If you have any theories about some stuff we might see in season 3, go ahead and drop them down in the comments. We want to talk them out a little bit. If you agree with us as far as your assessment of season 2, of course, leave a like on this video. Subscribe to us, because we're going to be going episodic again for season 3 when that drops on New Year's Day 2021. I think we're all looking forward to 2021 for various reasons, but Cobra Kai is one of them. Remember, strike first, strike hard, show no mercy to that subscribe button. We'll see you on the next one.
Later, everybody.